Another week, but we ain't hollered at him in a minute. It's All Things KC with Mayor Quinton Lucas, our 55th elected mayor. Mayor, it's time to step in that KC pressure cooker. But seriously, though, over Memorial Day weekend, mass white nationalists were marching downtown KC, just blocks away from 18th and Vine, 12th Street, and areas rich in black and brown culture. Mayor Lucas, what can the city do to forewarn and protect our communities if these hate groups are planning to show up again? And how do we make sure that KC stays safe and inclusive for everybody?
So, a few different things that come up with that. First of all, I am meeting with the NAACP tomorrow morning to talk about those very issues. Not so much just how we can stop anybody from coming into town, trying to do a quick cowardly protest and getting out of town in the back of a U-Haul, but really how we can support and uplift communities of color, those who have been discriminated against for some time. My views on this, and I know I got some people hot under the collar with it. I don't center my time on white supremacy, white racism, really candidly, white people at all. What I'm here to do is uplift our community. I'm here to uplift and center Black voices. That Saturday night, I was with Bob Kendrick at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. The next day, I was with a Black Gold Star family Memorial Day weekend. I share in the voices of many others. I read Congressman Cleaver and Gwen Grant in the paper the other day who said the same thing, that largely we are here to lift up our communities. We are here to focus on what we can do better. There's always going to be foolishness and oppression. The way we drive it out is lifting up our own people, centering our own success. I'm not spending my time thinking about a bunch of cowardly, heinous white dudes who are scared to show their faces. Instead, we're going to build up Kansas City for our community each and every day.
Now, I just mentioned 18th and Vine, and I understand the Kansas City Streetcar Authority Board approved a proposal to begin a feasible study for a potential streetcar line down 18th and Vine. This is exciting. It will connect the Jazz District to downtown KC. This could be an exciting addition to KC. Mayor Lucas, what's your thoughts on this potential?
I think a few different things that I think about with that. One, I love it for 18th and Vine. I love what we're building there. I think that's a good opportunity. But most importantly, we have got to bridge an east-west divide in Kansas City. Whether you consider that to be Truce, Prospect nowadays, Homes in some spots, but I think it's the sort of thing that you need to say, we're not just going to have a nice streetcar line that runs from the river to the plaza, of which I'm very proud, but we need to make sure that we're actually building up something that can get people from job and residential centers on both sides of our east-west divides. I think this is an important part. Before there is any other streetcar expansion, including in the river or to Kansas, I want to see us go east-west. We have got to stand up for our legacy Black community in Kansas City. So that'll be a big part of what I think I'm supportive of, too.
Mayor Q, before we get into the next question, I do want to say thank you so much for stopping by our 12-hour disaster relief drive on Friday. That meant a lot to just see your solidarity to not just this side of the state, but also sending love to the other side of the Show Me State. So I just want to tell you, thank you so much. I really appreciate you on that.
Well, thank you so much. When I say I love the east side, it's the east side of Kansas City and all of Missouri. So happy to do it. We'll stand up for St. Louis anytime we can.
Thank you. On a more serious note, Mayor Lucas, with recent increase in FBI activity and visibility in KC, would you be able to shed any light on what this means for public safety and whether the city is working in coordination with federal agencies to address any specific threats or even investigations?
I don't think there are specific threats right now. I think what we really are trying to do is make sure that we're tracking down a lot of violent crime issues, gun trafficking, drug enforcement, some of that work. We don't just want a bunch of extra agents around to scare everybody. What we want is to make sure we're doing particularly the forensic investigations that are necessary to addressing the long-term issues in Kansas City. So with that, I got to bounce with y'all, but thank you for spending time with me. I always love being with you.
Thank you
Big
so
love.
much.
Thank you, Mayor. Have a good one. Be a blessing.